Tonight I am going to show you how to use Storybird for your classroom for very young learners, so for kindergarten through 2. So first, before we begin talking about how to use it in your classroom or your lab, we first have to know what are they learning at this age. So children are learning beginning sounds and how they relate the symbols to the letters. So basically every single letter has typical sounds that we use. So an S, and those symbol sounds actually help kids see them later while they're reading. And so the more and more they become comfortable with this kind of relationship between sounds and symbols, the easier it is for them to write and read later on in their lives. So we begin by blending these sounds together to make words. We start with really simple words. So CVC, a consonant, vowel, consonant. So cat, bat, map, dad, all those really easy things that they can sound out themselves, so that kids are beginning to feel more confident with their reading and writing skills. During this time, we're also boosting vocabulary with the kids. We talk about text awareness, so how to hold a book, what's the title mean, who's the author, what do you think's going to happen in this book to the main character? All of these kind of conversations are happening within a classroom, and all these things are developing the young reader and writer. So after that, there's some more things that they learn. Every kid's going to go at a kind of a different speed, but during these early years, they're discovering what rhyme is. They're learning about complete sentences and different parts of speech. And they, as they read, they learn more and more words that come up over and over again. And they begin to see these sight words after a while. And that helps them with reading and also just listening to people read books or sing songs or rhymes also kind of help their vocabulary grow and their awareness of words in the environment. This will lead kids as they get older and older to ask a lot of questions about the story that they read, or even just start to be really interested in certain topics and want to start doing basic research or read more stories about it, which is great. This is when they're so excited to learn, and we need to make sure we're teaching them in a way that inspires them to continue to be this excited about learning, because later on in life, reading can be such a struggle if it's not approached the right way. So this is the time where we need to get kids to be excited about what they're doing. So, going on, asking questions about the story being read is a great way to get kids interested in writing their own books. Why did the character do this? Why is the character deciding to do this way? What is the character thinking about when they say that? All these simple questions get our readers and writers excited. After a while, they begin to string simple words together and sight words to make longer and longer sentences. So, your kindergartner will write 3 to 4 to 5 word sentences depending on their level. And, in second grade, they're going to be writing more and more sentences together that, you can do research and have all these bigger kind of ideas come through in their writing as they get stronger and stronger with it. And basically, that's what you have to kind of assess. You have to know, what are your kids doing at this time? What are their abilities? So the big question is, how can I make this work for you at Magic Kid? And I think the best way to do it is to know what style and formats are out there on Storybird. What kind of prompts can you create that tie into your own lessons and curriculum? Because why teach about something you're not going to learn about within the lab, right? Then you can also encourage kids to think of funny stories. They have all this time to learn in school. This is their time to come to Magic Kid and learn something totally different, right? They learn about robotics, they're excited about doing something different. So just encourage that creativity and let them be flexible and have fun with writing. There's so much time in their lives to focus on grammar and all the little nitpicky things. Have them be excited about whatever you're teaching them. And comics are a great jumping off point. We've seen a lot of success with the comics at the Magic Kid lab in Studio City. There were kids who were writing tons and tons of comics the other day just because they're so excited to get their words out, and it's a simple way to get everything out in a quick fashion. So what I'm going to do is just give you kind of a general tour of Storybird. So you'll see here, if we're under the challenges, there's these basic challenges here, like the world before writing. And all of these are kind of the typical things you'd see in school, in a classroom, and so they're great for kids to use at home over the summer if they need a refresher to sentence structure or, just the basic, what's a question sentence look like? What does punctuation do? All these things help the kids, perfect their writing and better their writing. So if there's a time in your class where you see a kid needs more structure and needs, help with a silent E, or they need help with the magic vowels, there's all these different things. Definitely brush up on it to see what we have. But these are more to help them, refine their skills, become better storytellers, and all of that. Typically in a classroom, especially for Magic Kid, I think you'd be more likely to use creative writing because this is the time of the day where the kid has already had school and they want something different, right? And so within this, we have a lot of different courses and units. So right now we have our summer units and courses, and all of these have really cool prompts that are unique, and we just want kids to start writing over the summer. So it's just different, topics. You can read this on your own time to see which ones you like. But basically what they do is they'll talk about some sort of theme, some sort of question. They'll give an example of a book that's already been written by a user, and then they prompt you to write something else that you can do with your own writing. You can see there's one here. So this is a great way to get kids interested in it because they see this prompt and they can choose which one they like. They can see which one speaks to them. Maybe they want to write a comic first, and so they can see these examples, learn all about it, and just jump right into writing. I think another great thing you can do is just familiarize yourself with what is on Storybird and what kind of things can you do with each part of Storybird. So the comics are very simple. You can have ones that have multiple panels that you write with. You'll also have ones that just have one panel. So if you have a kid who can't write that well, start with just one. Start simple. Help them sound out the words. Help them write a very simple story. Another thing you can do, especially for young readers, I would say picture book is huge. They love picture books. They're reading them all the time in class. They love to look at them. It's not as intimidating as, a long-form story or flash fiction would be for these young writers because they are still getting used to their own skills, their own reading and writing skills, and we just want to really promote that love of writing. So this is a great way to do it. You can add a simple story, use beautiful art, and, help those kids along to write awesome stories. And I think the biggest thing you can do is think of ways that it'll help your individual class and your individual course. So for instance, when we were talking about the dinosaur course for the summer, we were trying to think of prompts that actually related to dinosaurs and that were fun to think about. A miniature dinosaur, all those questions you'd have about if you had a miniature dinosaur, would it be a pet? Would you have it? Would you be scared of it? All those questions help young writers think and form stories. So get creative with it. Think of something that's going to be great with the curriculum you have in your lab and just use that as a starting off point, and then find something on Storybird book that relates to the thing you're writing. So if you write a story about a dinosaur that's miniature, it'd probably be great as a picture book. And so you can go on Storybird, you can find the art that you'd like to use, and then you can create that story and make it come to life. So I think that's the biggest thing I could suggest to you is just, don't force it. Find a way that you enjoy it too, because when you enjoy teaching it, the kids are going to love it as well. I hope that was helpful. Good luck and happy writing. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thanks. Bye.
Create your own story on Storybird.com.